Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kayla, also known as Thrifty Mom of Two here on this YouTube channel. I am a full-time reseller. I sell on Poshmark, Mercari, and on eBay. And in today's video, I'm just going to share some of my numbers with you guys and let you guys know how my business did in the month of January 2021. I will also be sharing a few items that sold in the month of January on each platform. So a few items from Poshmark, a few items from Mercari, and a few items from eBay. So I did film a few what sold videos in the month of January that I already released here on my channel. So if you did catch one of those videos, you may already know I did mention that my goal for January was to do at least $6,000 in gross sales between all three platforms. My best month ever actually happened in Q4, quarter four of last year, where I did over $8,000 in gross sales in 1 month. So, you know, obviously I would like to keep that up and actually exceed that and do more than that on a regular basis every single month. And that is one of my goals this year. But starting off in January, I wanted to set a realistic goal for myself, something that I knew I would have to push myself to hit, but also something that I knew would be realistic for me and that I wouldn't get super disappointed in myself if I didn't quite hit that goal. And that is why I chose $6,000. So before I tell you guys exactly how much I made in gross sales for the month of January, I just wanted to talk a little bit about goal setting and how that has really helped me stay motivated and really just helped me improve my business over the last couple of months. So I set a monthly goal for myself every single month. I also keep daily records of where I'm at as far as reaching that goal. Am I on track to hitting that goal by the end of the month? Or am I behind? Is there things that I need to change, refining processes, maybe list more items, whatever it is that I need to do to hit that goal? I can really look at it by keeping track of my daily sales and just kind of where I'm at throughout the month. So I do keep a calendar on my desk where I write down my daily sales, and this just really helps keep me motivated and on track, and also just helps me make plans and adjustments so that I know what I need to change and what I would need to work on in order to reach my goals each and every month. So that is just something that I recommend doing if, for one, you're lacking motivation, or two, you're just wanting to grow your business and see, improvement each and every month. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about how much I sold. I'll let you guys know if I met my goal for the month, which I did, which I'm really happy to report that I did hit my goal for the month. I actually exceeded my goal by quite a bit. I was actually really, really happy with the month of January. So my goal for the month of January was to do $6,000 in gross sales. At the end of the month, I actually ended up doing $7,933.71 in gross sales. And that is between all three platforms, so Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay. And keep in mind that is before all fees. So there are site fees that come out from each different platform. There also might be shipping discounts or free shipping if I offered free shipping on my items. And then also my cost of goods is not considered in that number. So keep that in mind. But that does mean that I beat my goal by $1,933.71, so almost $2,000. In fact, once I hit 6,000, then of course I was trying to hit 7,000. Once I hit 7,000 in gross total, I started climbing towards 8,000, and I really, really wanted to hit $8,000 this month. I was so close. That very last day, I was just trying anything and everything to make a few more little sales so that I can hit that $8,000 number, but unfortunately it did not quite happen. I was $66.29 away from hitting $8,000 in January, but all in all, I'm still really happy that I did hit my $6,000 goal and that I exceeded it. And yeah, so let me go ahead and talk about my worst sales days, and I wanted to talk about my best sale day in the month of January. So I had 2 really bad sales days throughout the whole month. So not all of them are great days, and they were actually $0 sales days for me in January. So I had 2 of them. They happen to everybody. I would like to eliminate them completely if I could figure out a way to do that. But the first one happened January 1st, so New Year's Day. I had a $0 sales day, so definitely started the year off on a rough start. But that definitely contributes to my work ethic and the amount of work I put in towards the end of December. So the last couple of weeks of December, I really did not put as much work into my business as I normally do. One, because of the holidays, I took a lot of time off to spend with my family. And two, because my dad actually came out and was visiting for a week at the end of December. And I also wanted to enjoy the time with him being out here. So I did not work as much that whole entire week that he was here as well. So that's probably why my sales started off so bad. And then the second $0 sales day happened on January 7th. So again, still within that first week of January. So we definitely started off a little rocky, but it picked up throughout the month, and I'm really, really happy with the way everything turned out. My best sales day in the month of January was on a Saturday. It was January 16th, and I did $738 in gross sales in just one day. So that was really exciting. I actually made an entire YouTube video about it if you want to go back and check it out if you happen to miss it. And I basically just break down everything that sold for me on just that one day. I think I had about 13 sales, if I remember correctly, that made up that $738 total. And then the last thing before we get into some of the items that sold for me in the month of January that I wanted to talk about is just my goal that I want to set for February. I just want to kind of put it out there here on YouTube, let you guys know what my goal is, just to kind of hold myself accountable and really help me push towards hitting that goal. I would love to hear your goals for the month of February as well. If you already have a goal, definitely drop it in the comment below. Or if you haven't set a goal for yourself, definitely think about doing that. And if you come up with one, also drop it down in the comments below. While we're talking about that, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you don't mind. It really helps me out here on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel if you do enjoy reseller related content. I have tons of videos planned for the month of February. So yeah, definitely hit that subscribe button. Also hit the little bell notification so you don't miss any of my future uploads. But while we're on the subject, for the month of February, I want to set a goal of hitting $8,000 in gross sales between all three platforms for my business. So that is stretching it a little bit, but I was so close to hitting $8,000 in January that I really, really want to try for it here in February. I do know that February is obviously a shorter month. It's the shortest month of the year. So there are a few less days that I will have to make that many sales, but I don't know. I still really want to try for it. February is also my birthday month. So my birthday was actually yesterday, February 2nd. I'm filming this video on February 3rd. So I did take all of yesterday off. I didn't do anything reseller related except for my shipping. I did get my shipping done, but other than that, nothing reseller related. I just enjoyed time with my family. We ordered a nice dinner in. We had Olive Garden because I really felt like having pasta. So we did order Olive Garden. My husband got me a bottle of Cupcake Moscato, which is my favorite wine. So I had that with dinner. And then my husband and my kids also made me a homemade birthday cake, which I love cake. I have a major sweet tooth. So that was really nice as well. So that day I took off, and then Valentine's Day is coming up, so I probably won't work that day. I'll probably spend that day with my family. So there definitely are going to be some barriers to overcome in the month of February, and I'm definitely going to have to make a plan on how I can increase my sales this month. But I definitely want to try. If I don't set a goal, if I don't push myself, then, you know, I definitely won't hit 8,000 in sales. So I'm definitely going to try for it, putting it out here on YouTube. That is my goal for next month. And then of course I will report back to you guys somewhere in the beginning of March and let you guys know how I did in February. Okay, so now that I've shared some of my numbers with you guys for the month of January, I wanted to just share some of my sales with you guys. I already did post 2 what sold videos. I did a what sold video, I think for like the first half of January. And then I also did a what sold video for my best sales day in the month of January, which was Saturday the 16th that I had just talked about, where I did $738 in sales. So because I posted those videos, I tried to pick items that I did not share with you guys in those what sold videos, just so that I'm not repeating some of the same items over and over. So most of these sales are probably going to be from the last half of January. I decided to pick 3 sales from each platform that I felt were noteworthy for one reason or another. So we're going to go ahead and start with Poshmark. The first sale I wanted to mention, and I'll put a picture up on the screen so you can see the item clearly, was a pair of Rebecca Minkoff fringe boots. These were called the Krissa fringe boots. They were a size 7.5 in women's, and I wanted to mention them because they actually sold for full asking price of $95, so it's definitely a very good sale. This is also a brand that I don't have much experience selling. I may have picked it up once or twice before, but I honestly don't find it very often. Comps are all over the place. There are some low comps, there are some high comps, but this particular style I thought would do really well. I just thought because they have that Western flair to them, and usually Western style boots do really well for me. They were a genuine suede, and comps for this style actually looked really good. So this was one that I was definitely willing to take a chance on, and I'm really happy I did because the sale, like I said, was a full price sale. The next item I wanted to mention was this pair of Athleta. These are called the Prima Loft Alpine Valley leggings in a size extra small. These are actually new at tags. They were a retail arbitrage find. I did pick up 3 pairs of these from TJ Maxx, I believe, and they all did really well. So this was the final pair to sell. I had a pair of black leggings, a pair of purple ones, and then the gray pair, and they all performed really well and sold within a reasonable time. They also were like a cold gear or cold weather style legging. They had a thicker fabric and like a fleece lining on the inside, so definitely a style to be on the lookout for if you come across them. Athleta is one of my favorite athletic brands to resell. I definitely will pick it up if I could get it for the right price, but leggings in particular, their leggings, certain styles can do really well, and this is definitely one of them. These sold for full asking price of $65 on Poshmark. The third sale I wanted to talk about on Poshmark was a pair of Under Armour hiking style like sneaker boots. These were called the Knit Flat Tire Hike Boot, and they ended up selling for $85 on Poshmark, which was a great sale. I wanted to mention this sale because I don't talk a ton about Under Armour on this channel. It is definitely a good brand to pick up, but it is also a tricky brand. So it's kind of similar to Nike in the sense that it can be flooded and there are certain pieces that will perform well. And I think just being able to tell the difference between like a more expensive, higher resale value piece and then just kind of like a basic lower end piece from the brand, like, you know, Nike pieces that are sold at Kohl's or something like that, those aren't going to do as well as some of the more like highly sought after pieces. These shoes I knew would do well. Not only were they just really cool and unique, but they also had the sole on these shoes was like a collaboration. It was made in collaboration with Michelin, the tire company. I'll post a picture on the screen. So they had like this really cool like tread, and it actually looked like a tire on the bottom. And these shoes were actually made for like trail and hiking, just basically outdoor use, which was really cool. A lot of hiking style shoes tend to do really well for me. And so I knew this was definitely a piece by the brand that was worth grabbing. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to Mercari. I'm gonna share 3 sales from that platform. The first one I wanted to mention was this pair of UGG. These were the classic short boots in chocolate brown. They were a women's size 7, and these were a thrift store find. I love selling UGGs. I pick them up retail arbitrage if I can find them for the right price, and I will definitely pick them up at the thrift store as well, as long as they are still in good condition. A lot of times I find them and they're just way too worn, and I wouldn't feel comfortable selling them in, you know, that type of condition. But this pair was actually in really good pre-owned condition, so I was really excited to find this pair. They also sold fairly quickly, I want to say within a week of listing them, and they sold for $52 with free shipping on Mercari. So I do offer free shipping on my listings on Mercari. I just have found that things sell better on that platform if you do offer free shipping. The second sale I wanted to mention on Mercari was not a huge, like, high dollar sale, but I wanted to talk about this because it is kind of a category that I don't sell in very often, and I tested it out a little bit this month and it actually did really well. So this was by the brand Angel Ranch, not a brand I'm familiar with, but it was a leather Western style belt, and that's really the category I wanted to touch on. I did pick up 2 Western style genuine leather belts that just had really cool, fun, unique details about them this month, and they both sold very quickly. And because they only cost, you know, a couple dollars at the thrift store, they sold for still a decent return. So this one sold for $25 free shipping, but again, I only paid a couple dollars for it. Super easy to photograph and super easy to store, so it's definitely a category that I think is worth looking into. Okay, and then the third sale on Mercari was this pair of Timberland Earthkeepers men's boots. I wanted to mention this because Timberland is just a good boot brand to be on the lookout for, shoe brand in general, but mainly their boots. This pair was a men's pair. The women's ones are also still really good to pick up, but they just make really good quality shoes. As you can see in the picture, this pair did have like some scuffing and stuff on them, which I did note, but it kind of just went along with like the distressed leather look the boot already had. So it just kind of vibed, I guess, with the entire boot. It did not look bad at all. But even with the scuffing, these still sold for $60 free shipping. They were pre-owned and it was a thrift store find, so definitely a good sale, definitely a good brand to keep a lookout for. Okay, so now let's go ahead and move on to eBay. I have 3 sales from that platform that I'm going to share with you guys. The first sale was this pair of vintage, Tyrolia is the brand. They were like a stirrup pair of zebra print, like bright purplish blue color ski pants. And I wanted to mention these because I'm not a huge expert. I'm not an expert at all, actually. I'm not a huge vintage reseller, but I definitely know like certain vintage pieces can be very trendy right now. And it's easy to recognize like those bright, colorful patterns, like just certain vintage pieces that stand out. And those type of pieces I definitely will grab. I don't really think the brand matters as much. It's more of the style that people are looking for. So I went ahead and grabbed these ski pants because, you know, the print was bold and I know that like bright neon, colorful 80s, 90s ski wear and snowboarding wear was really on trend. And yeah, so these sold for $45.20 on eBay. That was the total sale price, including what the buyer paid me for shipping. So eBay, I don't typically offer free shipping. Okay, and then the second sale that I wanted to talk about here on eBay was this pair of Palladium Pampa amphibian boots. These were really awesome. I put this sale in here because I really, really like this brand. It's definitely one to be on the lookout for. So the brand is Palladium, and I don't know a ton of history about the brand, but I do know that they originally started off making boots. Their original style boot was actually a canvas material. The ones I sold were like a neoprene, but they originally made canvas style boots for the military, and eventually they started changing their styles and marketing boots to everybody, not just in the military, but that is how the company originally started, was making boots. I think they might have made bags too, I'm not sure. I think I remember reading that, but yeah, originally started making those products for the military and then kind of expanded to marketing to everybody outside of the military as well. but just a really cool brand. They do have a pretty good following. I did actually pick up 3 pairs of this same boot. I found all of them at Burlington. The first pair ended up selling for me, I think same day or next day on Mercari for around $70, I believe, if I remember correctly. And then this pair ended up selling on eBay for $80, which includes the extra that the buyer paid me for shipping. And the one other really cool thing about these shoes is they do have the unisex sizing on the tags, which I absolutely love. So you can always list shoes as like their men's or women's equivalent, which I do quite often. I just make sure I post, you know, what the tag of the item actually says, and then the equivalent. I usually also put a size chart in my listing when I do that, but I really like when they actually have both sizes on the tag already. Vans is another brand that does this. They will usually have like the men's and women's equivalent sizing on the inside tag. I'll post a picture on the screen of this tag from these Palladium boots. You can see on there where it says USA M, that's the USA men's size, which was an 8.5, and then USA W is the USA women's sizing, which was a 10. And because both of those sizes actually sell really well for me, so I've sold quite a few men's 8.5 and I've sold quite a few size women's 10s, I actually decided to go ahead and list these boots under both categories. So I did create 2 separate listings. I created a men's listing and a women's listing, which is also something I recommend doing if you have a shoe that works good in both categories. You can create 2 separate listings. Just make sure that you delete the other one once the item sells. Make sure you remember that you had 2 listings so that you don't accidentally sell the item twice. But that's what I did here. And again, that pair of boots sold on eBay for a total sale price of $80. And then the third and final sale I wanted to talk about from eBay was this Anthropologie Sleeping on Snow patchwork poncho. Sleeping on Snow is one of my favorite sub-brands by Anthropologie. I know I don't talk about Anthropologie as much on this channel anymore. It used to be like a brand I talked about so much. It's still one of my favorite brands to resell, but I've slowly started shifting my focus onto shoes more than I have clothing. I still pick up clothing, but I am very selective with the pieces I'm picking up. And with Anthropologie, because it is such a well-known brand in the reselling community, I think it's important to be very selective with the pieces you're picking up if you want to sell them quickly or if you want to sell them for a higher return. The type of pieces I'm looking for are just like really unique, just more exceptional pieces. Maybe they're like a rare piece, or they just have something about them, a print or a pattern that makes them special. Those are the type of pieces I'm picking up. Most of the other like basic or plain pieces I leave behind because the market is just flooded with them. And not to say they can't sell, but they just may sit for a while and they may not sell for as high a return. But this is a good example of one of those rare, exceptional pieces. I did actually use rare in my title because I could not find very many of these. There was more sold than there was active listings, and there just wasn't very many of them in both categories, so in the active or sold. So it did seem like it was a harder piece to come by. So I did use the word rare in my title. And obviously this, you know, is patchwork. It was just very fun and unique looking. So it had all those special qualities, and it ended up selling on eBay for a total sale price of $64.90. So definitely a great return. All right, you guys, so that is it for my January recap video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, again, please give it a thumbs up on your way out. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Hit that little bell notification so you don't miss any of my future uploads. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.